welcome back to the channel. So today I am here again with a new topic in C++, and this topic is in continuation with the previous topic, which was references and pointers. So if you have not seen that tutorial, you can go and watch it. This will help you in this tutorial for better understanding. Okay, and those who have subscribed the channel, thanks for subscribing the channel. So let's start the topic. So शुरू करते हैं आज का topic. Alright guys, so here is the definition for pointers. Okay, so let us see what it is saying. A pointer is a variable, okay, that stores the memory address of another variable. Okay, so if we represent this in a diagram, so we can say variable ptr stores memory address, so we can write this in short ma, okay, another variable, and we can denote it as a. Okay, so if we draw a rough memory address, so it is something like this in computers. Okay, and it is saying pointer is a variable that stores the memory address, so we can write it ma, okay, like this, memory address of a, and we can draw an arrow from a to ptr. So this represent ptr is storing the memory address of a. Okay, so it is clear what pointers are. Pointer किसी दूसरे variable का memory address store करते हैं. Okay, this memory address is in a form of hexadecimal format. Okay, hexadecimal means whose base is 16. Okay, so here base 16 means 0 to 9 we take decimal numbers. Okay, and after this we take alphabets from a to f, so a b c d e and f. Okay, where a is 10, b is 11, c is 12, d is 13, e is 14 and f is 15. So total you have 0 to 15, which is 16 in counting. Okay, now if you see any number which starts from 0x, it means it is representing hexadecimal number. Okay, so if I write, it means if we count this, then this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is for 32 bits system. Okay, and if we have 0x and 16 times f, okay, so if you have 16 times f, then this is for 64 bit system. Okay, all right, now let us see how we declare a pointer. Okay, so if we write int star ptr, okay, like this, then here ptr is a pointer to int variable. Okay, so by using this asterisk sign we denote a pointer. Okay, so this is the declaration of pointer, and now let us see this in program. Okay, all right, so here I have a pointer.c++ file with basic code already written in it. Okay, and now I am going to declare a pointer. So let us see how we do it. Int star ptr. Okay, so this is how you declare a pointer. Okay, so we can write here declare a pointer. Now this star can be in between data type and variable name. Okay, like this. It can be near int, okay, or it can be near ptr. All are same. Okay, you can write it like this, you can write it like this, okay, and you can write it like this. Okay, all are same. Now let us print the ptr and see what value it show to us. Okay, we know that ptr stores the memory address. Okay, so see out ptr, okay, and I'll return 0, save it and run it. So you can see ptr is showing me some hexadecimal random number. Okay, so this is the garbage value. Okay, so if you are not going to provide ptr, which is a pointer, its initialization, then it is going to show you some garbage value. Therefore it is mandatory to initialize the pointer. Okay, so how we initialize it, let us see that also. So if you don't have any value, you initialize it with a null ptr. Okay, save it, and again if you run this code, it will show you 0 in the output. So now you can see 0 here. Okay, so always remember that if you are using pointer, then you have to initialize it with some value, and if it has no value, then initialize it with null ptr. Now the next thing we studied about pointer is it stores the memory address of another variable, right? So if we have a pointer Okay, and if we have another variable int a, then for storing the memory address we write ptr equals ampersand a. Okay, so we use this sign ampersand for storing the memory address of a variable. We also call this sign as address of operator. Okay, now let us see this in program. So remove all this. Okay, and take a variable int a equals 10. Okay, and remove this null ptr also. Okay, and store the address of a. So we use एड्रेस ऑफ ऑपरेटर देन द वेरिएबल नेम जिसका हमें एड्रेस स्टोर करना है पॉइंटर में. ओके, सो वी विल रीड दिस एज एड्रेस ऑफ ए. ओके, in ptr variable. Okay, so that you can easily understand. Now if we run this, we will get some hexadecimal format number, right? We are getting some hexadecimal format number and it is the address of a. Okay, so till now we have covered declaration of a pointer, initialization of a pointer with null ptr and address of operator in pointers. Okay, and if you want to see this in pictorial representation, then a equals 10. Okay, and it is holding memory address 0x24fb47. Okay, so if this is ptr, then this ptr is holding this memory address 0x24fb47. Alright, so this is the pictorial representation of this program. So now remove this, and here where we have assigned address of a to pointer, we can write it like this also. Suppose we remove it from here. Okay, so we have declare a pointer here, right? And we can write it like this: ptr equals ampersand a. Okay, so we can cut paste this from here and paste it here, save it, and if we run this, so here is the output. Okay, 31f6d4 is the address of a which is stored in ptr. Once you have declared a pointer with star, okay, then you can use ptr directly like this and assign the address of any variable to it. Okay, now here you don't have to put star sign like this. Okay, because you have already declared it a pointer. कुछ लोग को डाउट होता है कि we have to use a star here or not, so you don't have to use a star. Now this will work as a pointer. Okay, wherever you use it. Now the next is dereference operator. So dereference operator is used to get the value stored at the pointer. Okay, so let us see the definition. Dereference operator to access the value stored at the address a pointer points to. Okay, pointer जिस एड्रेस को पॉइंट कर रहा है उस जगह की वैल्यू को एक्सेस करने के लिए we use dereference operator and we denote it by star. Okay, so confusion होने की जरूरत नहीं है. I will clear everything. Okay, now see here in program I want what value is stored at ptr address. Okay, so what I will do, I will use on line number 8 star in front of ptr. Okay, so we can comment here, use dereference operator. Okay, टू एक्सेस वैल्यू. सो हम जब भी किसी पॉइंटर पे स्टोर वैल्यू को एक्सेस करना चाहते हैं, सो उसके आगे हम स्टार यूज करते हैं. सो इफ वी सेव दिस एंड रन द कोड, वी विल गेट 10 as the output. So you can see we get 10. Okay, alright guys, we studied about a pointer, right? And now we know that pointers store the address of another variable, but what is the practical use of it in our program? Now let us see this by doing one program. Okay, so this is our program and here we will do some changes to see it. Okay, so we have a variable a equals 10, then we declare a pointer. Okay, and in pointer we have the address of variable a. Now what I am going to do is I am assigning a equals 20. Okay, and I am going to use dereference operator. So I will use star here and then pointer name which is ptr. So we know that this will give the value stored at address of a, right? So save it and run it. So you can see that I get 20 as the output. Okay, which is the latest assigned value to a, right? We have assigned a 20 here and initially we have assigned a value 10. Now if I don't use pointer, okay, so I'm removing star, I'm removing ampersand sign, and also I'm removing dereference operator from here, and I'm saving it. So let's see what we get in PTR. Okay, so again run the code, and you can see that I'm getting 10 as the output. Okay, so from this program you can see that pointers help in modifying the variables, right? And here you can see also. Alright guys, now the next topic is pointers and arrays. Okay, so an array name acts as a pointer to its first element. Okay, this means you can use pointers to iterate through arrays. So हम सभी लोगों ने arrays पढ़ा रखा है. So if we write array, so it is something like this: int array, then its size of elements. Okay, so it is saying that name of the array acts as a pointer, and this pointer denotes its first element. So we can say array first element. Okay, so element at 0 index is your first element, and pointer, as we know, store the address of another variable. Okay, so we use ampersand sign in front of array. Okay, तभी तो ये pointer की तरह act करेगा, because we have studied that pointer is a variable that stores the memory address of another variable, right? Next, it is saying you can use pointers to iterate through arrays. So like we use for loop for iterating through arrays, we can use pointer for iteration. Okay, so now let us see this through a program. Okay, first we will check whether this array name acts as a pointer or not. Okay, all right, this was our previous program, and let us remove all this. Okay, and all right, so let us see the program now. So int array of size 5. Okay, and we initialize some numbers here, suppose 1 2 3 4 5, and now let us check whether it works as a pointer or not. So cout array and L return 0. Okay, save it. So if name of array works as a pointer, then it will store some memory address, right, as we have studied earlier, of another variable, right? And if it is not initialized with the memory address of another variable, then it is going to store some garbage value, right? So run this program and let us see. Well, we have a memory address value 0x34fcc0, right? Hence it proves that array name is working as a pointer, right? And we can check more about it by using dereference operator. So we have studied that when we use dereference operator, then it gives us the value, right? So we use star arr, and we have studied that it points to the first element of array, right? So if it's true, then we will get 1 as the output. So save it and run it. So we are getting 1 as the output. Again, it proves that it works as a pointer. Now the next concept in pointers is pointer arithmetic. Okay, pointers support arithmetic operations like increment and decrement. Okay, so suppose you have any pointer, okay, and it points to some array. Okay, all right, and we all know that array store the number in a sequence order, right? So here will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and suppose this is the memory location. Okay, right? So why there is a difference of 4 bytes? Because our data type is int, and int is of 4 bytes. So each number will be stored at a 4 bytes distance, right? So if first number is stored at 001, then the next will be stored at 0005. Okay, and so on. And we know that in pointers, array name works as a pointer, right? And this holds the 0 index that points to the first element, right? It means it has the base address of the first element. So with the help of this address, we can access all the elements of an array, right? So now let us see this with the help of program. So this is our program, and let us see how we access these array elements. Okay, we know that using dereference operator we can get the value. So if we have to get the value at index 1, what we will do, we will simply add +1. Okay, You can write it like this. You can use bracket also like this. Okay, and if we run this, so you can see we get 2 as the output. Okay, so here what happening is when we increment array position by 1, it means we are adding 4 bytes to its base address. Okay, similarly if we want array fourth position element, so we will add 3. Okay, save it and run it. So we will get 4 as the output, right? We have 4. So what it does is it adds the 4 bytes in the base address. So when we increment the array by 3, it means it is adding 4 into 3 equal 12 bytes to the base address. Okay, so like this we can iterate through the array using pointers. Okay, also we can write it like this: int pointer ptr equals arr, right? Because array name acts as a pointer and it points to its first element, which means it is storing the address of 0 index. Okay, and we can use ptr here now. Okay, it will not affect the code, right? So we can write here using the reference operator, we get the value which is stored at index 3. Okay, using the reference operator we get the value. So if we save it and run it, see we are getting the same output 2 and 4, right? All right, the next is pointer subtraction. And if we have an array, okay, and we have 2 pointers which point to the same array, then we can do the pointer subtraction. So let us see how we do it. So remove all this, create 2 pointers, int ptr1, and this is representing, suppose, index 0 address. Okay, it's AR. Also we have another pointer ptr2. Okay, and this is representing array index, suppose 4. Okay, and now let's do the subtract. So cout ptr2 minus ptr1 and L. Okay, so this is how we subtract 2 pointers which point to the same array. Okay, so always remember that when you are subtracting, then the pointers should point to same array. So you can comment here point to same array. Okay, save it and run it. So we get the output 4. Now let us see what this 4 is. Okay, so delete this. So we get output 4 and we have these numbers in our array: 1, 21, 3, 44 and 5, right? And 0 is this index, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So ptr1 is representing this address and ptr2 is representing this address. Now here 4 is not the difference of 5 minus 1, okay, which is 4. Here 4 is how much elements you travel from 0 index to 4 index. Okay, or you can say how much elements are there between 0 to 4 index. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3 and 4. Total 4 elements are there, so we get the output 4. Okay, now why we are not including this 0? Because it is a rule that when we subtract between 2 pointers, okay, then we don't include the start position. Okay, we include only the end position. Or you can better understand it like this in a very simple way. Suppose you are at point A, okay, and you have to reach point B. Okay, initially you are here. Now you move from A to B. In between you have some points. Suppose you have these 3 points in your path from A to B. Okay, then initially you are at A. Okay, so जब आप A पर हैं, then you are not covering this point A because आप यहाँ पे पहले से मौजूद. Now you are going from these points one by one to point B. So you are covering these points. Okay, first you will cover, suppose this is 1, you will cover this point, then you will cover second point, then you will cover third point, and finally you will reach at B. So point you covers are 2, 3, 4. Okay, same way when you subtract between 2 pointers, you don't include the start point, you only include those points which you cover till the end. Okay, now if you want to traverse the array, then you can use increment or decrement operator. Okay, so let us see how we do it. So remove this much of code and let's take a pointer ptr which points to array. Okay, now increment pointer ptr. Okay, and in next line let it print. So ptr, and I'll save it and let us run it. So we will get the address of index 1, okay, because this is index 0, right? And when we do ptr plus plus, it is pointing to index 1, okay. And if we want the value, then we use the reference operator. So star bracket open and ptr and bracket close, right? Save it and again run it. So we will get 21 as the output, right? Same way we can traverse to rest of the index. Okay, suppose I want index 3 value, then I can directly write here ptr plus 3, okay, and comment over this. So this will give me the index 4 value. So if we run this code, we get 44 as the output, right? Now suppose you are at index number 3, okay, and you want to traverse back, then you can use decrement operator for this. Okay, so let us see how we do it. So suppose you are at index number 3, okay, and now you want the value at index number 2. So you can use ptr minus minus, okay, and this will give you the address of index number 2, and when you will use dereference operator, so you will get 3 as the output. So let us see, right? So using increment and decrement operator, you can traverse the array. Now the next topic is pointers to pointers, okay. So let us see what it is. We also call them double pointers, okay, and they are basically useful for multi-dimensional arrays or dynamic data structure like linked list, where we have to store the address of another link, right? So if we see the diagrams, you have some variable a, okay, so it has some value 10 and its memory address is something like this, okay. So this memory address is stored in some pointer ptr, okay, which is suppose integer type, and here is the memory address of this variable a, okay. Now this ptr is also having some its own memory address, suppose 0x1, okay. So this address is stored by some other integer type ptr1 pointer, okay, 0x1. So this is called pointers to pointers, okay. And now let us see this with the help of example. So let us remove all this. Take a variable a, okay, which has some value, suppose 24. Then we take an integer variable ptr, and this is holding the address of a, okay. Then we have another integer type pointer ptr1, and this is holding the address of ptr, okay. So now let us understand what double pointer here means. See, when we have single pointer, it means it is holding address of single variable, okay. And when we use 2 star, it means this pointer holds address of another pointer, okay. So we can write p, writing in short, so p holds address of another p means pointer, okay. So I hope this is clear why we use 2 star here. It means pointer के अंदर ये और pointer है, okay. So now we can write cout ptr1 and l, okay. So this will give us the value stored at ptr1, okay. And here we are using the reference operator now. So we can comment here using the reference operator, okay. And we are using it 2 times so that we get the value stored at pointer 1, okay. Why we are using 2 times? Now let us see this also. So for this I am drawing the figure so that you get it, understand easily, okay. So this is your a, it has 24 and it has some address, suppose 0x, okay, 1. So this address is stored in ptr, right? And ptr is also having some address, suppose 2. So this address is stored in ptr1, right? So if I have to get the value of a using ptr1, okay, so first time I will use star the reference operator, so I will get ptr, Okay, so I will get this address value. I am not getting the 24 value, I am getting the 0x2 value. Okay, when I will use first time dereference operator, and when I will use second time dereference operator, it will give me this 24 value, right? That's why I have used 2 star for dereferencing ptr1. Okay, I hope you get it, and if you have any doubt then you can comment. Okay, save it and run it. So run the code. So here is the output 24, right? Now if we want to modify this value of a, we can do it. So what we do, simply use double pointer ptr1 and assign it to some new value, suppose 120, save it and see out a. Okay, because we have modified the variable a. So if we run it, so we get our new a value, which is 120, right? So you can see the power of double pointer. Okay, with the help of it we can modify the original variable. Okay, now the next topic in pointers is function arguments. Okay, so what is function arguments? Pointers allow functions to modify the arguments passed to them. So if we have a function and we want to modify the arguments which are passed to that function, so with the help of pointers we can modify them. And how we do it, you can pass address of variable using pointer to allow the function to change the variable's value. So now let us see this with the help of a program. Remove all this code. So here I am creating a function which is of void type. Function name is increment. Okay, and it is taking integer type pointer p as a parameter. Okay, and what we are going to do in this function is we will use dereference operator. Okay, and extract the value from pointer p. Okay, and then we will increment the value. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. And in main we have a integer type variable a which is assigned to 10. Okay, then we are calling increment function here and passing the address of a. Okay, then see out and get a, then enter. So this is our program. Okay, so what we have done till now, in function argument we have passed the pointer p. Okay, and inside function what we are doing is first we dereference the pointer. Okay, and then we increment. Okay, so this will modify the original variable a. So now save it and run it. So we will get output as 11. So this is the powerful use of pointers where we can modify the variable out of scope. Okay, and now the last topic in pointers is dynamic memory allocation. So let us see that also. So pointers are essential for dynamic memory management using new and delete keywords. Okay, pointers allow you to access and manipulate memory directly. So we have seen this also with the program. So now let us see how we dynamically allocate memory. Okay, so remove all this. So this is our basic code, and now here we will create one variable pointer. Okay, so int ptr. Okay, then ptr equals new int. Okay, so this is how you allocate dynamic memory. Okay, using new keyword. Okay, and the memory which is allocated is of int type. Okay, so why I have taken this in, because our pointer is of int type. If it is of float type, then हम float type की memory allocate करते हैं. Okay, now in the next line we will write ptr equals, and we can assign some value to it, suppose 25. Okay, so this is one way of allocating dynamic memory. We can do this in a single line also. See how we do it. Int star ptr1. Okay, equals new int, and here we will, in curly brace, we pass some value, suppose 50. Okay, so like this we can allocate dynamic memory. Okay, so you can do it like this or you can do it like this. So once we have dynamic memory, let's get it print out. See out dereference operator ptr. Okay, and then again see out the ptr1, and then so we will get 25 and 50 as the output. And you must have noticed here that we haven't used any variable for assigning the value to it, right? We have directly assigned 25 to the pointer, right? Initially हम लोग क्या कर रहे थे, एक वेरिएबल a लिया, उसमें 25 को असाइन किया, देन पॉइंटर में उसके मेमोरी एड्रेस को असाइन किया, राइट? ऐसा कुछ कर रहे थे. But using dynamic memory, we directly assign value to pointer. Okay, so run it. So we have the output 25 and 50. right? And one thing more, if you have confusion of this pointer and dereference, then I have one line for you, so you can comment it. And the line is, if star is before the assignment, okay, operator, then it is pointer, okay. And if star is after the assignment, then it is the reference operator, so it will give you the value. And we can prove it also, like here, if I take a variable int, okay, a, and I am assigning star ptr, which is a dereference operator, और यहाँ से हमने star ptr को रिमूव किया और a की वैल्यू प्रिंट कराएंगे, ओके. सेव इट एंड नाउ रन दिस. सो a की वैल्यू हमें 25 मिलेगी एंड ptr1 की 50. सी वी हैव द आंसर 25 एंड 50, ओके. सो अगर असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर के बाद स्टार यूज हो रहा है, इट मीन्स इट इज डीरेफरेंस ऑपरेटर, और अगर असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर के पहले यूज हो रहा है स्टार, इट मीन्स इट इज अ पॉइंटर, ओके. ऑलराइट, वंस वी हैव एलोकेटेड द मेमोरी, okay, we have to delete that memory. If we don't delete the dynamic allocated memory, then this can cause undefined behavior, okay. Also it can cause memory leaks, so it's our responsibility to use delete, okay, to delete the pointers, okay. So delete ptr and delete ptr1, okay. Now save it and again run it. So here is the output, okay. So I hope it is clear, and by this we conclude our topic pointers. So we have completed a lot of points in pointers. If you have any doubt, then please comment in the comment section and subscribe the channel for more videos. Till then, do the coding, enjoy the life, and thank you.